What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back for another review of The Impact Atlanta. This is Season 3, Episode 2, and the episode is titled Rumor Has It. Let's just go ahead and get right into this review. Alright, so we actually start this episode off with us seeing Tori. She's DJing, and I must say, I love me a female DJ, okay? And she ends up getting a call from her man, Rich the Kid, and basically they just kind of catch up on each other. Like, oh, she's going to be DJing somewhere. He's going to be working on some songs. Good for them. Moving on, we see Carly and her friend Daybella. Now, I do not know anything about Carly besides what I see on this show. So I don't know nothing about her day ones and how this was so known that she was friends with this girl, okay? Now, they were headed to a brunch, and it seems like they go way back to, like, high school days. And at one point, they just kind of went their separate ways. It doesn't seem like it was, a bad falling out. They just kind of grew apart. Or at least that's what they're making it seem like. They could be sugarcoating it. But it seems like Carly went to go, be on tour with her man and do whatever Jeffrey was doing. And at the same time, Daybella, she was living her own life. She started a family. Like, they were just going in different directions. Which that happens a lot of times with friendships. You know what I'm saying? Someone has a kid. It kind of changes the dynamic while everybody else is still out partying. Y'all know how that go. But nonetheless, the girls are back, okay? They are back to being cool. And they talk about Tucson for a moment. And basically, Carly, she don't want to see him. She don't want to talk to him. We already know they got into it last season. And baby, let's just leave that in the past, okay? So we get to the event, right? Tori, she's over there DJing. We see Gloss Up. I said, finally, we see this girl because we know that she's a member of the cast now. I'm just so interested at the fact that QC basically pulled Lakia from this show and then put Gloss Up in. Or I wonder if that was even a QC call. I'm just curious to know how that went down, considering both ladies are on that label. That's really interesting. I just feel like that label has been struggling ever since the Migos departed. The City Girls have now, separated. It just seemed like that QC label is struggling. Quality control is struggling. But nonetheless, here's the thing. I did not know that Gloss Up had 2 kids. I don't know where I was. But yes, she has 2 children. She's an artist. And she's besties with Glorilla. Okay? Now, it does seem like they're not as close as they once were. And it could be because Glorilla is now, like, superstar status. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you don't see your friends as much when you're as big of an artist as she is at this moment, because baby Glow is on she is on a roll, okay? She is moving and shaking with the right people. Nonetheless, I do think that Gloss wants to get away from being in the shadow of Glorilla, which I feel like is going to be very hard for her, as well as the rest of the girls who were rapping on Shabuya. Because I definitely did enjoy the Shabuya song, for sure. But I think because Glow is so big, people are not going to really take to her and the rest of the girls. It reminds me of like Nelly and the St. Lunatics, okay? Follow me here. We had Nelly, he was from St. Louis. However, he had his crew, but we didn't really take to the St. Lunatics like that, except for Murphy Lee. So I feel like Gloss is the Murphy Lee and Glorilla is the Nelly. Let me know if that analogy makes sense, because I feel like it does. And for the rest of the girlies, I don't know what they're doing, but I know they rap as well. But back to the show. So we see that Keisha, light-skinned Keisha, she's there. Her and her manager show up. And baby, when I tell you this manager is messy, he is messy. We are going to get to it. Now, before we get to that, y'all, we see Tucson, right? He shows up and he ignores Carly, says hi to certain people, don't say nothing to her. And, Carly, she's going on to tell everybody, like, she not feeling Tucson. It is what it is. They got into it before. They not cool. Because everybody's like, what was that weird energy? Now, here's the crazy part. Tucson decides to be real messy because he brings over shots so everybody can have a shot. However, for some reason, Carly didn't get one. I don't know if she didn't reach for a glass or what, but she did not get a glass. She did not get a shot glass. And Tucson's like, all right, hurry up. I gotta go. Because everybody's like, oh, hold on, Carly didn't get a drink. Baby, he took that shot and walked off. I said, Tucson, here you go being petty yet again. But here's the thing, baby. What you got to realize is that the game has shifted. The show has shifted. So you are no longer in the place that you once thought that you were. And what I mean by that is you had Ari and you had Tay, who was there, who you could always count as your backbone. But baby, it's new girlies in town. And it seems like they're liking Carly, okay? And I'm glad for it, baby. I am so glad that Carly is going to have some friends this season. Because y'all know it was rough last season. Tucson, you're about to be on the outs, okay? And you keep playing little games like this. Because, hell, Ari got her whole family to film with. She don't even be in Atlanta like that. Tay is no longer a part of this cast. I think that he's probably going to be on Impact New York moving forward. He just kind of popping in, popping out. Tucson, baby, you got to get with the program and start being nice again. Okay? Because you're going to be on the outs real soon. Now, moving on from that, then we see Tucson go to some corner and he calls Ari like, oh, why you not at this event or whatever? And she's like, well, I'm with my family right now. Because one thing Ari will do is brush him off, brush Tay off, because if she's not doing something else, she's going to be doing something else. He basically tried to make it seem like the event was whack or like the event was like crazy and erratic. And I'm like, no, baby, you're the problem. I'm sorry, Tucson, but you are the problem in this situation because there's nothing wrong with this event. The problem is that you are not with the girlies right now. Because Carly is over there. So now you have to stay away. Like, I just thought that was so weird. Now, he's over here mad because Ari's not there. And now he's like, well, this event is boring. Well, everybody else seemed like they having a good time except for you, boo. So maybe you're the problem. Now, back over with the other group, everyone, they're talking about what's going on. And Tori talks about how, her son is starting kindergarten, and we learned that all the ladies at the table have children. Well, everybody except for Carly. However, Carly does say that she wants children. She wants about 4 of them, right? So I have no idea how we got here, but some type of way, they get to the fact that Tori is engaged. However, she says that niggas is gon' nigga. I said, oh, okay. So everybody does not agree with her, especially Keisha, because Keisha feel like, her relationship is great. She's with somebody who's her partner. Like, he helps her. He helps with the household. He helps with the baby. Like, they are in a 50-50 partnership. You know what I'm saying? But baby, we already know Tori has been through some things when it comes to Rich the Kid. Now, I peeped already that the way Julian was acting, it was giving a little weird, because I'm like, do you got some tea on Tori or something? Like, what's going on here? But he kept it cute, right? All right, fine. So they get into this discussion of, like, do all men cheat? And, Tori feels like they all do, and everybody else don't feel that way. That's what I gathered. Now, in the next scene, we see Ari. She ends up meeting up with her mom. And her mom, she's enjoying being back in ATL. So for some reason, I did not realize that Ari took her son and her mom to live with her in Miami, right? However, we see that Yosana is the only one who's missing Atlanta because, her mom definitely misses her other grandkids. So Ari basically tells her mom how, she's back good with Tay. And her mom actually got teary-eyed because Tay and Ari have been friends for a very long time. Like, they went to high school with each other, maybe even middle school. So when they were just Deontay and Ariana, they were friends. So this was before, Ari the Don and arrogant Tay. This is before they had, their careers. So her mom feels like, what, it's good that they're back on as friends, and, it's good to have your day ones back in your corner. So, moving on, we see Keisha and Gloss. They meet up, and baby, they are working out together. Like, these girls were actually working out, okay? It's been plenty of times where we have seen scenes on reality shows where these people show up to the gym and then they sit down and have a conversation. But these girls were actually working out, and I appreciated that. So, we learned that Gloss is feeling the pressure from her label to drop a hot song because she's been signed for a minute and they want her to, put down work and drop a single that's worth, really putting out. So she's feeling that pressure. And at the same time, she's like, I really want to be a big artist. She just got new management. However, she needs a new PR person. So Keisha, of course, she suggested her person, Julian. And baby, we have seen Julian so much across our screens, haven't we? Considering he is not one of the main cast members. However, you can tell that he's pushing to be one. Nonetheless, Keisha goes on to talk about the fact that, she's an independent artist, so she's able to, drop music whenever she wants to. However, that can be hard as well, because being an independent artist, that is not an easy, fight, because everything's coming out of your pockets, So Gloss, she really does like Keisha, and she wants them to do a song together. I think that'd be great for those two to do a song together, especially they like each other. They seem to have a lot in common. Please work with each other, ladies. So, moving on, we have Ari and her sisters, y'all. So, she's really happy to see her sisters. However, she wants no part of Atlanta. She can't stand Atlanta at this point. She feels like she's outgrown it. And when she ended up taking her mom to Miami with her, it seems like the sisters, they needed help from the mom as well. Because I'm pretty sure that Ari took her mom to Miami so that way when she's out doing whatever she got to do, her mom can watch your son, right? However, I feel like Ari's mom was watching all the kids, all the grandkids, you feel me? But nonetheless, this is where things got real interesting to me. So first they talk about the fact that your son hates Miami, right? And I'm just like, I'm kind of annoyed by that because your son is every bit of 5 years old? Like, I get it. He may not like living in a new place because he doesn't have any family. But again, Ari, it's your job to make him feel comforted. Make sure he realizes that, you guys are moving for a good reason. Meet some friends. Let him hang out with maybe some of his classmates. Come on, girl. But nonetheless, one of her sisters suggested that, they take him for a year to help him transition. And I'm just like, well, girl, how is that going to help? Because he's going to get comfortable being with his cousins. However, he's going to cry and whine and want his mother. Because who wouldn't? So I'm just a little confused as to how y'all think that's going to work. Also, he can come stay in Atlanta for a year and then y'all send him away to Miami and he still hates it. So I'm just curious as to how y'all think that transition is going to work. Now, of course, Ari, she doesn't want to do that because she wants her son to be with her. But one of the sisters, she says that she actually had to do it. So I'm guessing at one point when all the family was moving down to Atlanta, this particular sister was still in school. So she couldn't just pick up and go to Atlanta with everybody else. So she had to, let her child go down to Atlanta while she stayed and finished her schooling out. I mean, that had to be very hard. You know what I'm saying? To not be able to have your kid with you all the time. But this is where things got interesting for me because now they're talking about moving the whole family to Miami. Girl, what? Why? What is Ari's sisters' careers? And I'm not trying to be funny, but how is it that every time Ari moves, y'all have to move? Y'all don't have no careers that's tying y'all down to wherever you have settled into? Y'all can't chase this girl around the world everywhere she goes, y'all go like a shadow? I don't understand. And I get it. A lot of people, they want a tight-knit family and all of that. But I'm just not understanding why her sisters have to move wherever she goes. Like, do they work for you? Like, what are their careers? I'm just curious. But we're going to go ahead and move on. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Tucson, he showed up and he talks about the brunch, calling it a debacle. Shut up, Tucson. Just shut up. Moving on, we see Gloss up. Y'all, this right here was the scene. She meets up with Julian, and Julian make it seem like he is a mover and a shaker in the city, okay? Now, this meeting was supposed to be about him possibly representing her in a public relations space, right? Because she said she needs a new PR person. This quickly transitioned from being a business meeting to just being messy. Because he wanted to know what was up with Carly and Daybella. Like, why are they kicking it? Why are they friends? He knows they had a falling out at some point. And why are they out here hanging out together? Sir, go ask them. Why are you talking to Gloss about this? Baby Gloss, she clearly like everybody. And she's trying to stay out of the mess. However, hanging out with Julian, girl, he's going to put you in the mess. Because she's like, oh, I didn't know that they were like friends like that. Didn't know anything about that. Of course she wouldn't, because she's not from there. She's not from Atlanta. Isn't she from what, Memphis? She don't know this ATL drama. Then Julian gets worse because he's like, oh, and about Tori. The way he went in on Tori blew my mind. Because this was extremely messy for him to say that he has a friend who messes around with Tori's man. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, you're messy. And then he had the audacity to say in the confessional that, oh, Tori just got a promise ring. Like, basically saying she's not engaged. This was just a promise ring so that way he can, keep her on his roster. Like, this was so messy. And the fact that he brought it to Gloss in a way that he did, I'm just like, Gloss, I don't know if you want him to represent you, girl. Because this was messy. Now, moving on, we see Ari, and she's working on her remedy line. She wants her brand to be bigger. She wants to do like a full relaunch, rebranding situation. Because at some point, she wants her products to be in Sephora. She doesn't want to be this small black-owned business. So she talks to her sister, and she's like, you know what? I think the best option for me is to homeschool your son. And that way, he can be back and forth. There's no, he has to be in school. He's homeschooled, so if he has to be in Atlanta for, a week or two to hang out with his cousins, he can. So then they talk about how they're going to try to figure out how the whole family can be together. And like I said, what are her sister's careers? Because now they're talking about getting a family compound. Are y'all putting in on the compound, or is this all on Ari's back? Because I'm sorry, that's a heavy weight to carry, because she has her own child, she has her mother, and then she got about 3-4 sisters and their children? That's a lot. That is doing a whole lot. What are their partners doing for them? How does Moneybag feel about all of this? I'm just curious. But let's go ahead and move on, because lastly we get to Gloss Up's event. She wants to play a song. I think it's called Can I Vent or something like that. Carly, Daybella, and Tori, they all go to support her. Now the song sounds, it sounds good. I ain't gonna knock it. And Gloss goes over there to talk to the girls. And baby, it's very clear that she's going to go ahead and let the ladies know what Julian said, okay? She brings up the friendship with Carly and Daybella. They're confused as to why that's even a topic. And then she just flat out tells Tori that her man is cheating on her. I was like, oh my God. You didn't have to say it like that. However, Tori, she says that this is old news. However, Julian made it seem like it was a recent girl. So I feel like there definitely needs to be a conversation had between Julian and Tori, because something ain't right with that. But y'all, that was the episode. Let me know what y'all thought about it. Do y'all think that Ari is doing a lot for her family, trying to move them all the way to Miami with her? How do y'all feel about Carla and Daybella's friendship, if y'all know the background and drama? And do y'all feel like Tucson is just doing too much? Because I know I do. And Julian is doing way too much. But yeah, let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will talk to y'all in my next review. Bye, guys.